Hi, it's Jill from Jilly Bean Studio. I hope you can join me today for some fun in a craft notebook junk journal. Welcome to the channel, or welcome back. I'm glad you could come along today. So the desk is full once again. Beautiful fall colors. I live in New England and am definitely feeling a little bit of chill in the air, although who really knows the weather lately, friends? I am not sure. I've been working in this craft notebook, very similar to a composition notebook, a little bit smaller. I've been loving these little ones. They are super fun for creative monthly journals. 30 pages, you can glue the pages together. That's what I like to do. And I don't journal every day, so a few times a week is my practice, and they work out really well for that. Also on the desk, I want to share with you today a few fun supplies. I have orange paint everywhere. Oh my goodness. I did treat myself. And I've also been playing a lot with paint, tons of scraps, and really, again, enjoying sort of the fall vibe. And take a look at this. I have treated myself to, isn't this a pretty color? To some new Tombow markers. They are the dual tips, thinner point on one end and brush tip on the other. And I think for fall, they just have that beautiful, rich, I think, the browns, the oranges, the autumn feel for me. And also for September, currently 2023, I do have these free printables again, and I'm playing with the oranges and the browns in there a bit, little mushrooms and things, and they are free and available for the month in my Ko-fi app. So I'll link that below and check them out if you are interested. I hope you enjoy them. Back to these brush pens. When I saw them on sale and that 70s vibe, I couldn't resist. So picked those up and am happy to have a little creative treat for the journal in the next, well, the journals, because I'm thinking they'll be great in definitely September, October, and November. And I also have been using over the last couple weeks in this journal a lot of printables, not just mine, but on Kat Hand's membership for her Ko-fi. She has some beautiful printables. She also has some freebies there as well, so I would check her out. And I made a little journaling card out of some of hers, and I also made some out of my little mushroom guy and good vibes, and tuck them right into that card stock, or I guess die cut butterfly is what you would call it. And then I have a good friend who gave me these really pretty wildlife vintage stamps and put those on a background. I have a little bit of wallpaper there and some stenciling. So yeah, I went back a little bit to add to the front. Have not figured out the cover yet though. I'm not sure. Sometimes the cover comes to me right away, and other times not at all. And I'm not sure. Not sure about the cover yet. Added a touch more, I think, to this page. Those are Kat's book text and painty birds. Some pretty acrylic paint. That might have been there already last time if you were here for the last video. And I've set up these pages, but I still have to document. I like to document over the week, jot some notes, a few events, a simple overview. Look at this gold. Oh, I love it. That still needs to be done, but I do have the pages decorated. Those little hexagons are so cute, that scrapbook paper, and I did a little doodly sort of flower, have a tuck spot there. And then this is another one of my printables, quick journaling card. How easy is that? Putting that in the Pantone postcard pocket. Pantone postcard pocket. Say that 3 times. Noticing I need more glue. Yeah, so a little bit of journaling here. Simple notes. We had a fun get together on the 9th with some friends. It was a really stormy night. And we ended up playing a game that I never played before after some fun chatting and food called Quiddler. And yeah, because the storm was not fun to drive in. So hung out and had a good time. This is the page where I went to town with these really, can you call markers adorable? I don't know. To me, I just love feeling that 70s vibe. It's speaking to me. Swatched out the colors and then use some of the packaging for a journaling card and also for reference, keeping the colors and information there. Put a few more of those wildlife stamps and some cute little cutouts, I think from a Faux magazine or book. Enjoying the metallics on those washi tapes. Love that pretty pop of gold. We did have a celebration of life for a family member. And I'm just jotting a little bit about that. Some memory keeping there. And then for today's journaling session, I think we're mid-month now. We're about the 18th of September. And I'm gonna take you along. I hope you can pull out some craft supplies that you have or just hang out for a little while. I'd love to know what you're enjoying in your journal and what scrappy things you love to do. But today's session is all about scraps. And certainly I just went with the idea of taking some fun scraps from the current piles, use them on the Pantone postcard. Look at that toasted nut. Very pretty brown color. And enjoying a little bit of shopping as well for some stationery. So I did the shopping with the Tombow markers at one store. And then in another store, I was shopping recently with my sister who was in town, and I was supposed to be clothes shopping. Yep. Still don't have some outfit updates for the fall. We were at TJ Maxx and I had no idea. Have you ever gone into TJ Maxx, the stationery section? I don't know if this is an all the time thing or just a recent thing or once in a while thing. Clearly I have no clue, but when I went, my sister got a really great pair of pants and I got some really fun stationery. So I think those will be great to add to the journals. And also we always write down our grocery lists on things like that. So I picked those up. And now for the last part of today's video, we are in an area of New England that, like, well, many areas in New England have gorgeous fall foliage. And as I was looking at some really pretty magazine images that we get some different mailers, let me see here if I can grab something and show you. I think I have some in the bottom of the box, friends. Here we go. Is that not gorgeous? That is just beautiful. So we get these mailers. This one I think is Yeah, Yankee Magazine. I think they send them out to practically every home in New England. I don't know. We get these freebies annually. And as I was sitting playing with some of the images, I had a bunch of scraps next to me. And then I thought, you know, these are so gorgeous. Why not play around and make the easiest, most simple faux decorative tapes or washi tapes by cutting and ripping? And I'm sure someone's done this before. It's a very simple idea, but a sweet idea. I thought this is a great way. Magazine paper is very thin, and recently I got a nice pile from my hairdresser, and then these samplers are coming in the mail of all of the fun things to do in the area. And then I decided just to add a little tiny pop of color. I would add a little bit of the acrylic paint that's been hanging out on the desk as well. This brush is a little bit stiff. I think I used Mod Podge or something or other on it. And grabbing whatever is nearby, whatever acrylic brand I have. So that has been a lot of fun this week. And here's another one that actually came from a junk mail catalog, sale catalog, and different colors, right? Same easy idea of cutting them down in strips. Let me just find a page that the colors speak to me. And that's it. So again, probably not an original idea. I'm sure it has been done many times before, but as I looked at the pile of scraps on the desk after a lot of trimming of these beautiful fall images, I thought that is a really quick way to add borders and frame out your pages. So I thought I'd just pass that along if you have your pile of scraps or are doing glue booking and you have a lot of magazine images around, just another way to use them all up. And then I thought another fun variation on that idea is to use the old snowflake approach. If you did this as a kid, just fold and cut along the fold line. I'm just doing random shapes. So anyways, a little bit of scrappy fun this week. And what has been happening on your journaling table or kitchen table? What arts and crafts and journaling have you been enjoying? I think we certainly have had a mix of weather, not traditional fall weather. I think that seems to be typical, right? There's been quite the mix of stormy weather and beautiful weather and all of it, right? I could keep going with the ands because we have such a mix. But lately, the current trend has been a gorgeous weekend of sunny, crisp, fall-ish air. And it's a gorgeous time. I didn't go, but I do have friends who've gone to the Big E, which is a really wonderful New England tradition. All of the states, it's a fairground sort of thing in Massachusetts, and all the states have booths. And then there's a lot of local craft fairs, cider mills, apple picking, all of that is really gearing up. And all of these little scrappy bits are sort of giving me that feel. I think as I think about framing it, what's happening for my eye is that if you have these frames and borders, when you decide to just have a scrap explosion of collaging and of, you know, paper flow that you get into with all of your scrappy bits, if you put a border around it and frame it in the same way that we frame pictures, it does really bring the eye in, and I think adds a little bit more balance to your page. And the way I see it, even though I am going to add some journaling cards and such on the page, is that those plates and that little bit of a woven basket, now my eye's sort of going to that area as I add this simple, oops, there we go, wow. Pulled a little too hard on that one, as I add this decorative tape style border. I love those little treetop images there. And then also adding in solid colors so that you have a mix. All right, we're gonna put pink instead. That little bit of brown came off, so I'm gonna replace that with pink. Did a little collaging on this Pantone postcard. I have a supply of those in my stash. I love using postcards for journaling cards. And that cute little bit of twine and die cut from the note card, I think I'm gonna staple on. I think that'll be cute. Oh, okay, take one and take two. The Tim Holtz tiny attacher wouldn't go through the twine, so I just grabbed the big stapler. So yeah, how is September creativity going for you? Are you in a certain color palette? I'm always so inspired by nature, and so I tend to gravitate to the 4 seasons that we have in New England, even when the weather gets wonky like it's been, I guess for most of us really, right? I'm going to attach this with clear tape. I think that'll work. Because I don't journal every day, I really don't worry about if a spread is finished. Sometimes because of time, I need to walk away, or sometimes that's as far as I feel like getting. And sometimes I think it's good to walk away, where you go back and when you look at it with fresh eyes, especially when you're adding layer after layer, the next thing kind of comes to your mind. So I'm not even sure where I'm going to put this old library card. I know I don't want it exactly across from the Pantone postcard. I'm going in with a little bit of white glue. That was sticking up. I think I'll just touch it up with that. I just put white glue in one of the smaller Kraft bottles. Yeah, so maybe a tuck spot up here, or maybe it becomes a journaling card. I am not sure. This is a little label from Kat's Printables. And that's what I find happens with the way I like to journal. I was saying a couple of videos ago, sometimes I have 20 minutes, and maybe that happens to you. So do what you can in the time that you have. Do a little session. You might not finish your spread, but then you might go back and get all your journaling done, or as in documenting, or just collage and add another layer to the page. It's all for fun, and for me at least, fun is number one. Love to explore and just play. So I think that's it for today's session. I'm gonna take a break now. I'll go back to it a little bit later. I hope if you're interested in the free printables that you download them from the Ko-fi app. Just pop in 0. And if you want to give a very simple and easy faux washi technique a try, I hope you enjoy that too. Something that just came from the scraps on the desk this week. I really appreciate you stopping by the channel, and happy journaling to you.